Hey everyone, it's Jess, and today we're going to do a nice hip stretching routine. To get started, we're going to be on our hands and knees. So go ahead, come join me in a nice tabletop position. All we're going to do is we're going to make nice little hip circles. Try to get those hips a little bit warm. You can go both directions. You can do figure eights with your hips. Just get a little bit of blood flow to them. Do whatever movements that feel good. If you feel it, find a spot you can kind of rock back and forth there. Our verse for today is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Just gonna let you take a couple deep breaths while you soak in that verse. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring one foot in front of the other to a nice low lunge. Just keep your hands down. You can rotate your neck a little bit. You can maybe rock on the front leg, on the back leg. Just loosen up. I know the verse, Philippians 4:13, is used a lot. It's very common. I know it's used a lot in athletics, but a lot of times I feel like it's misused, and that's why it's people's favorite, because it makes you think that like, oh, I can do everything. But when you read it in context, you can't do everything. If it's God's will in your weaknesses, God will be able to work because it's his strength that's doing the work. And it might not be as big of a battle cry as some people may read it on first glance. And I know that there's a lot of very devout Christians who that's their favorite verse. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just want to make sure that we have it in context for today. All right, now we're going to take that foot and we're going to walk it outside a little bit. You should feel a little bit more of a stretch on the inside of that thigh that's in front. And here you can lower down to your forearms if that feels okay. Try not to have your back like arched or crazy. If it doesn't feel good, feel free to stay up on those hands. I know I'm going to. Just take a nice couple deep breaths and just think about inviting God to work in your weaknesses and just how strong and powerful he is in our lives. Feel free, if you want, you can lift up a little bit, spin around and try to grab that back leg, or you could just stay in the previous stretch, whatever feels good. I'm really trying to stretch my quads a little bit more, so that's why I'm here. Just make sure you take nice deep breaths and try to relax. Try not to hold tension in your face. If the ground's a little too far, you can always tent your fingers or even get a book. Make the floor a little bit closer to you. And then on your next exhale, you're just going to slowly release or slowly come back to your hands and knees. Then we're going to switch legs. So you're going to bring the opposite foot in front. You're going to stay in that nice low lunge. Just going to kind of rotate back and forth a little bit. Both sides are probably going to be a little bit different. That's totally normal. Just play around with it, explore, be curious, not judgmental. There may be a reason why they're different. Maybe it's the way you stand, or maybe you won't figure it out. We're not very symmetrical. A lot of times we'll lead with one foot, and it might just have to do with that. But you could always just stretch more, just be more conscious over time. Take a couple deep breaths, and just think about how big our God is and how we want our desires to be lined up with him so that the things we're trying to do or to glorify Him. All right, and we're going to walk that front leg out to the side. You can feel free to keep your foot down, or you can have it more like on a knife edge and kind of let your like toe side up a bit. Totally up to you, personal preference. Take a nice couple deep breaths here. Feeling a nice stretch, but trying to let go of the tension. Again, you can always lower down if that feels good. This side's tighter for me, so my back will definitely be a little bit strained. So I'm just gonna stay nice and tall, keeping my spine in a straight line. Try to lengthen your exhales. You can always lift up a little bit and then rotate around. Do a little quad stretch. Two more deep breaths. And slowly release if you're holding on, or slowly come up out of it, back to your hands and knees. Next, you're gonna bring the leg that you started with, bring that knee right by that wrist, and kind of bring your leg kind of close to parallel. The more unflexible you are, the closer it'll be to, 45. You're just gonna lengthen out, have those back toes into the ground, kind of straighten up, lengthen, and slowly fold over. You could stay up if that feels better. You could lower down, relax. You can make a nice little pillow for your head and just take a nice couple deep breaths here. Try to relax your shoulder blades down. Two more breaths. You're going to lift up. Slowly come up out of it. And we're just going to switch sides. So the opposite knee comes forward right by that wrist. Kind of inch that back leg back, inch it forward. Put a nice spot. Lift up a bit, and then just lower down. Again, you can make a nice little pillow. Try to keep your hips squared. Try not to rotate, put too much strain on your back. And last, nice long breath. And then slowly come up out of it. You can feel free to just swing around to a nice seated position because you're done for the day. As your nice little quick hip opening stretch. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you feel more connected with God. Have a great day. Bye.